It's late July 2020 in Montreal. My sister Coco calls, sobbing. She says, "You know, Dad thought he might have COVID. Turns out he has stage 4 colorectal cancer. The oncologist says he has weeks to live." Oh my God, Dad, I have to figure out how to be with him. But the US-Canada border is completely shut down for COVID. I take my chances. I go to the border and I say the 4 most impossible words. My father is dying. The agent lets me through. I rush down to New York City, crying most of the way. My sister Coco, my niece Hannah, who's 26, and I move into a studio down the hall from my father to help out. Week 1, Hannah goes for errands, big and small. I make my father special treats, and my sister covers him with his favorite fuzzy pink blanket while we all watch Rachel Maddow together. By week 4, he has gone downhill so fast. He no longer eats or drinks. He can barely open his eyes. And one morning, I catch him licking his knuckles. "What's on your hand, Dad?" "Chocolate. Mama's making chocolate muffins. She always lets me lick the bowl." Wow, he's losing this place and time. I'm glad it's such a happy memory. He's always loved chocolate. It turns out that's the last thing I ever hear him say. Week 5, my dad is so ill, we have to transfer him to the hospital, which means it is so much harder for us. Because it's COVID, we don't want to take subways or taxis or buses, so we walk both ways to the hospital. It takes about an hour. And one of us inevitably forgets something, a phone cord, which means back to the studio and back to the hospital, where the visiting hours are COVID short. And honestly, it's like a science fiction film. All the hospital personnel are dressed in PPE with visors and masks, and I know how hard they're working, and if we ask for anything else, they look frantic. Tape on the ground reminds us to back off. We try to make things nice in my dad's room. We close the door, we put on soft music. Hannah holds his hands. I rub water on his lips. My sister's brought the fuzzy blanket and she covers him with it. Week 5.5, a note is slipped under the studio door. "You will have to leave by September 1st. It is August 30th. We are being evicted without any reasons given? It's COVID. There are no hotels and very few Airbnbs open. What do they expect us to do?" We spend that evening frantically looking for open Airbnbs, and then my sister finds the jackpot. It's closer to the hospital. There are 2 big beds, and it is bright and seems pretty spacious. So the next day, we pack our bags and we drag them through the steaming city over to the apartment. And when we get into the apartment, it is not the same one as in the ad. This one is dingy and dirty. There's 1 double bed and there are 3 of us. And the agent says, "I'll bring a cot. It's COVID. Take it or leave it." Hannah drags us over to the balcony. She says, "Look down." And we are not only closer to the hospital, we are looking right over it. And if you can count down 6 floors and over 13 windows, we look directly into my father's room. We'll take it. That night, we bring chairs and a speaker, martinis, which was my dad's favorite drink, and chocolate, and we go out onto the balcony and we celebrate my dad. We tell stories, crazy dad and grandpa stories. We sing all of his favorite songs, and we imagine singing them loud enough that they are going through the wind and right over and into his window. We sing New York, New York, because this is his favorite city, and the Piano Man. I sing My Funny Valentine, Sweet Comic Valentine. Oh, Coco, you remember when he used to sing that to us when we were little? And she sings, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. because every February we'd meet my dad at his apartment in Puerto Vallarta, and we'd sit out on his balcony at the end of the day and belt that song into the sky as the sun dipped into the Pacific. It's his sunset now. It gets dark, and we have an even better view into his room. Now we can clearly see his feet. So we bring out blankets and we watch over him all night long. In the morning, we're awoken by the oncologist who says, "It's time, come quickly." We get dressed and we get to the hospital in less than 5 minutes. We say to the guard those impossible words, "Our father is about to pass away." And he lets us all up. In the room, my dad is breathing like a racehorse. We hold his hands. We tell him how much we love him, what a great dad he was, what a great grandpa, what a great man. And I whisper in his ear, "Don't worry, we'll be okay." 40 minutes after we arrive, his breath grows even faster, his eyelids flutter, and his feet look like they're running his last race. And then it's quiet. Well, what do we do now? Do we have to tell someone? We wait until someone finds us. And then we ask, could we please have a bit more time? Because my father is still there. I can't explain it, but there is a bright light in the room that gets even brighter. And a few minutes later, a shaft of sun comes through the window, and I imagine my dad watching this scene the way that we watched him the night before through the window from the balcony. So ironic. If we hadn't been kicked out of the studio and hadn't taken that really awful Airbnb, we wouldn't have been able to watch over him or to be with him during these last moments. The light dims, and I can imagine my dad flying over the city that he loves so much, off to the land of chocolate muffins. Thank you.